Okay, I'm sitting out here at my mom's, and I didn't bring any of my stuff to set my phone up, so I'd have to sit and hold it right up in my face. So it's much better. Let's just look out here than look at my nose hairs. And anyways, I don't have a whole bunch to talk about. Like that ride was hellacious, and it was not even like um, it was just weird because it kept being like 45 miles an hour the whole fucking way across the state. And there was so many stoplights, and I kept on going like, have I ever taken this drive before? So weird how it seems like drives change, especially for me with a brain injury. That's been a problem. But once all these realities start shifting around and stuff, oh my gosh, that's a timeline change to me when I'm driving, and it's like, this is a different road. This everything is different. Something's weird. And so anyways, it was just slow and tedious, and it was hot. And Stella panted the whole way. She was so hot. I had to pull over and give her water a couple times. And then she's been up all night panting here. This is the first time it's even cool. And it's, I don't know what temperature it is, maybe 60 or something. There's just like a little coolness in the air. But oh my God, it's so freaking hot. It's like I walked into hell or something. And it just the vibration and everything. Like I had this horrible headache. So it is weird. It is weird. Like leaving realities, going to other realities, once we start really wrapping our minds around it and stuff, like what we do when we leave one space and go to another, and how each thing holds its own energy, and and it holds the energy of, you know, what's around it. Oh, I saw it. Oh man, I don't know if I can think of it. There was something yesterday. Like whenever I'm driving, I get shown lots of cool stuff. But one of the things that was like, oh, that's so cool. I want to remember to say that. Um, it was something about reality becoming your vibration. So, however your vibration is around you, the people around you, your your world, that's your vibration that you're putting out. You've got to recognize when you want to change the stuff around you, you've got to change it inside of you. You got to change your thoughts. Your you got to change how you look at things, how you approach things. It's really important. Oh yeah, and by the way, my mom has been doing the copper cup. You know, I got her the cup because she was doing copper coils and water. And I don't know, right after I got my explants, about my girls and my mom a copper cup. I think I talked about it. And so she's been drinking out of her copper cup. Well, now her hair is like, it's crazy how dark it is. And people started noticing, of course. But now she's being told all the time she doesn't look over 50. She just turned 80. And she's being told she doesn't look over 50. And then she just looks at me like, yeah, girl, I'm 30 years looking younger. But anyways, that's what minerals and stuff do for you. And she still drinks. You know, like she's not a big drinker. So she's like a wine cooler at night. But, and she goes out to eat all the time. So she's not 100% like detoxed and all that is what I'm saying. But she did just go out her physical, and every lab was perfect. And she still is getting the eye shots. And I said, I bet you there's a natural thing you could do to fix your eyes. Because my eyes, I can't even believe the difference. And that's just with the black seed oil and the horse paste. And well, the other stuff I do, everything I do, when I add on something new and I see a result, then I kind of think it's from that. But like I have a lot in the bank, you know what I'm saying? I've got a lot of stuff in me already. And because like moringa is important, burdock root, like there's a bunch of stuff that I take that cleans your body out of all toxins and stuff. So, um, anyways, uh, whatever I was saying, um, I don't know if I needed to say anything else about it. But one of the things though, so we drove here and it took all day. Like I left at like between 7:30 and 8, and I got here like at 4 in the afternoon. I'm gonna take the fast way home, and then I'm gonna plan on leaving Sunday since she has her plans anyways. Because then I was gonna stay Sunday for her birthday, you know, because well, she's got all her friends and stuff doing stuff with her and for her and taking her out to eat. She has a big social life, but anyways, my younger sister already planned her whatever they've got going. So I'm gonna go and get on the road early and take the fast way home. And it's so hot over here. It's like, oh my gosh. But so once we got here and trying to like just get stuff out of your car and carry it up. Oh my God. And there's grasshoppers jumping all over the place. Because she lives out the lake. Like, if you, I don't know if you can see, like over there, like over in here, like that is a lake. Now back there where it looks like a different color, like the pinkish color, that's the other side of the lake. So that's the top of a mountain. So there's a mountain right there, and it goes down, and in that in between from these trees over here and over there, that's a big old giant lake. I'm surprised we don't already hear the things going, all the motor vehicles of the lake vehicles. But anyways, there's tons of and plus she plants like a wild jungle. So like for her, more is better. Less is more, but more is better. And that's one thing too. She's got all this big giant house, but it's got lots of stuff in it. So it's hard for Stella to move around still. In that and it's just hot. There's lots of cats. It's just like, man. So I was carrying all that stuff up. Then we went to go get nachos. She lives out, and they have this one little Mexican place out there by them. And we went there, no people. Not one person came, not one person was there. We were the only people there, and we split nachos. And we were like, man, if, because 2 iced teas and nachos $17 now. Jesus Christ. It used to be like when we were poor, back in the day when my kids were younger, like teenagers and stuff. And if I didn't have a lot of money, well, that's when I had more money than I'd ever had before, and I was in charge of it. I never had that experience to have so much money and be in charge of it. But that's when I was also having lots of people come take advantage of me too. But anyways, it was like nachos was our thing. It was like $10. Now it's like so expensive. So anyways, we got the nachos, and she can't drive anymore because, oh yeah, because she's getting the eye shot still, but she's going blind. I'm like, well, the eye shots are working, huh? And I said, I bet you there's something natural, but she said, no, I've seen my x-rays, but that's where they lock you in. So I'm always trying to get people to understand their diagnoses, their x-rays, their tests. They lock you in to this mindset, to this way you look at yourself through their diagnostic tools, but they're diagnosing an illusion because you're not flesh and blood. And flesh and blood doesn't even really exist because it just 100% if the frequency, we're going to see, we're going to watch as this happens, as the frequency changes. You know, we're going to feel like our same selves, but our bodies are changing because it's our minds that are changing. And we don't have the same needs. That's why as you pull free from the medical and you detach yourself from flesh and blood, you get healthier and healthier and healthier. Plus, though, you got to do the, because they know our spacesuit, glove, whatever we're in, our resonance here, that they know that they can affect it through the chemicals and frequency and the starvingness of minerals, because minerals is what we are, just like the ocean. And so it is, they know how to do all this. They've been doing it for a long fucking time. So, and this is our battle to freedom. But in soul world, we've always had freedom. We've always come here freely to go through experiences that we choose. And we just have to go through their game board to have our experiences. So even though it seems like, oh my God, we've been enslaved for so long, that's just part of the story. That's part of the thing. In Soul World, we've been coming here and saying, just try and kick my ass, bitches. Just try it. So, anyways, it's, hold on, I do have a cup of tea. Let me swig it down a little bit because it's getting cold. But, um, but anyways, then when we got back, and it was like, oh my God, you could not even find a place to be cool in the house. Our air conditioner's broke and it's not going to be fixed till next week, and the fans don't do anything. It's crazy how hot and stagnant the air is, and how the fans just blow hot air in your face, you know? They don't cool the air. It's like you really need those misting fans to cool the air or something. I think those are a good invention. Probably some fucking technology or something that they've held back from us for decades. They probably killed the guy who invented them. That's how these people are. If it's going to do something good for them, let's kill the bitch. We don't want anything good for these people. They're just trying to tear us down and break us down. And especially, you know, in their world. Because remember, we're in their world. You know, we've come on vacation to their place. And they've been able to manipulate and keep people beat down and keep themselves lazy while we do all the work for them, and we entertain them, and then we are fooled by our fear. Like we run around like scared little ants all the time, and they find humor in that. They enjoy that, you know. That gives them, and probably the archons too. They probably enjoy it too. Probably feeding them with the same thing, not just our anxiety and but yeah, fear, anxiety, bitterness, anger. That's the world we're in. That's what it lives off of. So that's why we're seeing some of it, so much of it be purged out of people. And some of the stuff that's so dark and deep coming out of people, I would just venture to say that some of it isn't even stuff that they're aware of. Like that everything is promoting this to come out of them, but it's been a part of them from other lifetimes. So they don't even have the awareness of how dark they can really go. But this is the purging of the darkness, you know. But my mom went in because it's the RNC, and it was a Trump's night. She wanted to see Tucker. She loves him. She wanted to see his speech, and that's when we were gone at the restaurant and in the grocery store. She can't see to go to the store, so she had to go to the store. And and then we came back, and so she was in the house listening to Donald, because he had a long, it seemed long, I don't know, I'm so off on time now. It's like leaving one reality, going into another one. Maybe that's why people keep thinking they're jumping timelines, is that they're just coming into the realization that there's all these realities around them, and when you go into a different one, you can go into someone's bedroom and be in a different reality. You go into a different vibration, a different space and time. It has a different feel. So, I got this wheeze. So, so I don't know. You know, I'm not inside other people, and besides, everybody's only in the beginning phases of where they're going to be as they awaken and move towards this higher version of themselves. But anyway, so I was outside and I kept going inside to get things or whatever, and so I kept hearing Donald talk, and it seemed like, you know, it's just the same stuff, telling the people. But whenever he gets people's attention, he knows, or whoever's in charge of this whole shenanigan knows that the that there's like 10, 20, 50, 100 new people that tune in every time, every week, every day, every time, like how he's just coming and coming and coming, and he says the same things and says the same things, but there's new listeners, and it's like he's giving clarity, he's clarifying, he's giving them so that they can understand, like, oh, okay, see, this is what's happening, see, my friend said it's not, but so he does a lot of clarity, and he does a lot of hope. So he starts talking about the plans that, you know, how we're going to make America great again. what we're going to do. And so he talks about the plans, and he's got a big plan on the deportation. But how it's making it sound to me is like a division kind of thing, but we're not going into division. We're going into something else. So there's more underlying in that story. Like if it's going to be, we're going to make sure the criminals go back, but any people who want to stay here and make this their home are welcome. We just need, to start. I don't even know if they're going to keep doing registries and stuff, because you know what's so crazy? We think that they need to know who we are and where we are and all this bullshit. But look at, that's why they keep track of criminals. And when you want to go to the other side of that, they don't, with people off of the reservation, especially women, they just don't even track them. So then they can, when they disappear, which they disappear all the time, because, if you are rich and you know who's not being tracked, who's easy to make them disappear. So the system, sets that whole shit up. But then us, all dutiful citizens, oh, we gotta register. We want them to know who we are, where we are, and all this shit. I was like, bullshit. That's what we gotta, no more of this. Show me your papers. Who are you? What's your social security number? Fuck off with your shit. It's none of your goddamn business. I'm not a part of that system, so fuck off. And but so that's what we're in this shift to. And so people are going to be able to be free. Like, back a long time ago when humans were inhabiting this place, the whole place was ours. Go wherever we want. Find where you want to be home. So that's what it's going to go towards. It's going to go back towards that. That's how we'll live. So that's why I don't listen to all this stuff when he's talking, because it's just like more political rhetoric. It's more just bullshit. It's more like what the people want to hear to get them ready, because these big changes. But what I have heard is, I saw a clip the other day, and he was saying we're about to have some really big changes. And that one, he was making like there's going to be a big thing that's going to happen. A lot of people are going to die. And those of us who've been following this for a long time, and I'm not just saying like the unknowns or whatever, I'm talking about spiritual people who've been awake for a long time, like those of us who were paying attention to the solar flash. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of people who are all into that, and I still don't think that they know what's going on, because they're still focused on something else. You got to open your mind and see more things to fill in more space. You can't just focus on one thing and think that's the whole story. So anyway, I know that I'm not the only person. So, but so he's talking about that stuff of changing things and getting it more safe, and the technology is going to totally expand, and he talked a lot about with the energy, and that we've been being so fucked over on energy, and we're going to become a leader in energy. And so, because everybody's going to be going quantum, and he was talking about like not needing the electric car, talking about the absurdity and how it's the money funneling system. They just spent $9 billion putting in 8 units somewhere. And that is what, if you were paying attention back at the Desert Storm thing, when all that stuff was coming out, and they were trying to create a big war then, and they were saying, well, we need this over there, we need that over there. Well, it was all their friends' companies that they moved over there to make a bunch of money. That's what they do. They suddenly need, like, so-and-so just bought a steel company. Well, we need a bunch of stuff made out of steel. They scratch each other's back. It's fucking bullshit. It's the same thing. It's the same thing from the beginning when J.P. Morgan did that. Like, it's been going and going and going this whole time. When he was like, made marijuana into reefer madness, because he wanted to use for his paper. He had a paper mill, and he didn't want hemp used, and hemp is better for the environment. It's plentiful. It's not killing trees. And so anyways, but they went in a different direction, because the guy with all the money took us there. And that's, how it's been for a long time. So hold on a second, I'm getting a drink. So he was talking about that stuff. And and my mom gave me this cute I was just See, this is how manifestation works, I'm telling you. So I was making my tea the other day, and I was thinking, God, what should be so handy if I had a little thing like this, and I could make 2 cups at a time, because I always drink my first one so fast. It'd be nice to have the second one sitting there ready instead of having to sit and make it again. And then a couple days later, I come here, and my mom's like, oh, look what I got you for your birthday. It's like, I know I've given you other ones, but they are, I got a one that's like an oriental one. It's not, it doesn't work as good for tea, for morning tea. It's, I don't know. I mean, it's just the shape or whatever. And then I have another one, but it's like big. I don't know, I have a couple of teapots. But anyways, this one was like perfect. And it was like just what I saw, just what I was imagining. And then here it comes from somebody. Is that's how they will do it sometimes. That's why I say you got to picture what you like in your head. Put it out there in the universe, like what you want. But people start thinking, oh, I want this, so I'm going to have to go save. Okay, but I got to pay these bills, but how am I going to do that? So they talk themselves out of having what they want because they can't figure out how to get it because the money doesn't show them that they can. But that's why you don't go through money. Like I keep trying to tell people, you go straight to the fucking universe and you say what you want to them. You picture it. You show them in your head. Oh, something just went in my mouth. I don't know what the hell. Something fell in my tea. Gross. That's a big hard thing. What the fuck was that? I don't know. It's kind of cold anyways. Let's make a new one. So, anyways, but he was saying on the clip I saw, on the video clip, he was talking about something bad happening. I don't remember how he was saying it now. I can look for that clip because I probably shared it with Amy. So I could probably find it if somebody wanted to see it. I could refresh my memory or something. But anyways, when I listened to it though, I was picking up on like he's dropping all these hints to people. Like there's about to be there's gonna be big changes. Some big stuff is about to happen. And lots of people are gonna die. But then everything's going to get so much better. It's not like all the people are going to die and that's going to make it better, but it's like all the people are so affected by all the people dying, it changes. But instead of changing us into more control, we're going to go towards freedom. And so like after a big bad thing happened, like in New York, and then they changed everything at the airports, and it affected all of us. But the changes they used for their advantage to take more control of us. So they create these problems so we give up more rights. But whatever is going to happen is going to be more like taking a knee to God, more like looking up to the real master of the universe. And I'm not saying one entity, I'm saying the energy of the universe, its own wind, it's its own energy. And and we wouldn't hurt it because we are a part of it. So we are what we fear. It's weird. We fear this impending doom, this God, this judgment, this being over us, but we are that. So anyways, so I feel like that this thing is getting closer and closer, whatever is going to happen. And I imagine it's going to be some big thing, like maybe it will be this 10.0 earthquake in Missouri, and maybe a lot of people will get hurt, and maybe it will start the split, because 10.0, like I don't know what Missouri's like, if it has a lot of high rises and stuff. I'm sure in some of the cities. I think I've been to St. Louis. It's got that big white bridge thing, or that big McDonald's sign thing, whatever it is. So it had like a big metropolis. So yeah, if the earthquake was there, that really good stuff should start falling on people, and roads cracking, and you can't walk. You can't walk in a 4 or no, you could walk in a 4. Like I'm trying to think. I swear there was a 3 at my house, and I when it started, I started trying to walk across the room like to get my kids or something. And it was like trying to walk in a fun house. It all depends on the epicenter. What, Stella? What? Quit, please. So anyways, yeah, that could be the huge devastation that just shakes up everybody and gets everybody's attention. And them coming and doing this big demonstration, like they're preparing for this, is like the slow roll on wake up and take notice. And like that's why everything is so huge. Even while I was driving way out in the middle of nowhere, all of a sudden I passed a whole line of cops. I was like, this is weird. What are they all just driving together for way out here? It was very strange. And because even out here, like every little town is its own county, its own. That's why I'm saying that we're going to go back more to that, more back into how it is out of the cities, where there's all these little towns. They've got their own little sheriffs. They've got their own little mayors and stuff. We're going to go back to that kind of more of setup instead of this conglomeration. Let's all crowd in the city. Let's elect people who we don't know, and then let's let the federal government have a say too. The guy who says he owns all the states. It's like, it's all so absurd. So anyways, it's going to go backwards. We're going to, and I have been seeing that they keep cutting the fat the whole time. That's like in the big drama too, to get people to go through it, like the RV Wade, so how much drama that created. It still carries on. People are just nonstop talking about, oh, a 10-year-old died because she didn't get her. It's like, and I don't even know if I believe all these stories anyways, because it's all propaganda. And so, but it's all to get people outraged and stuff, to want to take things smaller, to see like, why do we have the federal government over us? Why are they telling us? Why did the woman who said the whole thing, why was she paid to tell us her story and to lean all of our ways that we think in one direction when she's completely opposed to the whole process? And she's trying to say it saved her and stuff, and got all these people like made legislation. So that's all this absurdity that they do to control and control us. So anyways, whatever is going to go down, and it's going to cause devastation and bring people together, and it's going to get people to be, I don't know, have more respect for nature and for life itself. And at the same time, we're going to have all of these things changing in our finances and stuff. So it's going to be good, which it makes me think like it's going to be real fast if something really horrific goes down, which there's going to be a lot of horrific things that are going to go down, but there just is. And, but if that is going to be the catalyst, that where everything's going to change. But definitely in the talk last night, so he's definitely made reference, like, but I was hearing that a couple years ago when he was talking. I was like, he knows there's going to be this big devastation thing that's going to happen, which I always go back to. It's got to be Looking Glass that they know all this shit, because they aren't all spiritual. They aren't all go sit in meditation and listen to their guides and stuff. So anyways, but the thing that he was saying last night when I went in, and then I stood there and listened for a few minutes, and he was talking about the gold thing. And he said, we're bringing industry back, which I knew that was going to come. It's going to be our stuff. And he said that we're going to have to step up AI, and that we have to step it up is because they are keeping it depleted. So we say the workers, but the AI is going to become the workers. So a lot of the stuff that we want is going to be made by AI. We're not going to be the ones out making stuff like cars and stuff like that. I think like how there's those manufacturing plants, we all have those jobs. Well, AI can do all these jobs. And whereas before we thought, well, they're taking our jobs, we need our jobs, they're replacing us with machines. But they could have always done that and gave us freedom, but they didn't want to do that. They wanted to keep us overwhelmed, sick, tired, because of like what they've done to people. Just look around. People are just fucking dead ass tired. They can't afford their bills and they still get up and go to work and just cry and whine about it. And so so he said that we're going to step up the AI. We're going to be bringing industry back. But this is where, when this stuff starts going, what I'm saying is, like, if you have ideas for businesses and stuff, and it's going to be a lot more community driven. And when I was the other day I was driving, and I heard a DJ, and this DJ, it was on Canadian radio. This is the first one I was really liking her. She said a few things that were like smart. But she was saying, like, right now the big trend is popsicles, and not just regular popsicles. They've gone gourmet. So when you go to restaurants and you want a dessert stuff, popsicles. And so she's saying, if you want to have a party and you want to be on trend, make fancy popsicles. And she said, but I'm telling you, please do not go out and get a loan to go open your little fancy popsicle shop. Because remember about the cupcakes, remember about the cake pops, remember, because there was all these people, something gets trendy and they make it and then they get good at it and then they open it, but it's only a trend. It's only there for a while and then people just get sick of it. Just like that Mexican restaurant where there's like nobody in it. It's like, how are you staying open? And the waiter's the cook, like, you know. And the first time I went there, it was years ago with her, and it was full. And even the last year we went, I think, for the birthday thing too. And there was still people in there. I guess it was empty. There was empty tables, but not like that. Not like last night. It was crazy. So hold on, I'm almost done. And so the gold, so he starts talking about the gold. He goes, we're going gold. He kept making reference, but he couldn't just say it outright. You gotta like read between the lines. Like you gotta know the facts and then the stuff put together. Like when he's saying, and it makes sense. So what I was picking up, he was saying, we're going to go on the gold standard. Everything's going to be changing for us financially. Everything, you know, like I've said, if you want to have a business, you'll be able to have a business, but it's going to be just different kind of stuff. Like, you know, things are going to be changing. So don't think small. And some of the things, like if you don't have a big internal guidance about which direction to go, then just be open to, as things come, you know, that will all of a sudden awaken you and be like, they start talking about, we're going to have a lot of these kinds of things. Like, I don't know, to me it seems like animal rescues, because we still got things to do with all these animals that we've created and apparently dogs can't just go out and live in the wild by themselves. So we've got to do something, because these places are just putting them to death. And there's people who, the do-gooders, they get themselves overwhelmed. Even my mom, she's got way too many. But I see these people online all the time, and they've got way too many. It's so funny. Where's the line between pet hoarder and pet rescue? And then the rescues get so overwhelmed, and they start asking for donations. But there's going to be grants, so there's going to be money. So, like, you know, maybe you're going to want to just be like, yeah, I would like to just have some land and take in some animals and, you know, help the world as things change, and to get paid for just doing that. And I don't know, maybe there's going to be a lot of orphans again, you know, maybe there's going to be a lot of people, like, I don't know how it's going to be on some of the things, because we have a lot of things that have to change, you know. There's a lot of, like, where we went so far, we've like wrecked everything. Now we've got to clean it up and fix it. So we've got a lot of problems with, you know, family structure, like what the system has done by destroying people who are poor, on substance abuse. And so we've got a lot of things. But there's going to be a lot of healing centers. So I think that's one reason why there's so many healers that woke up first, is because they're going to be going into that next step of being a part of the healing centers. And then a lot of the people who aren't quite there yet, then they'll be going to the healing centers. And then there's going to be people who are resistant to the whole thing. And then as the people heal, see, there'll be more things where will be happening, and so you'll see more opportunities. So don't get all stressed out if you're like, well, I have no idea what I'm going to do. I don't know what I want to do. I think the only people who really do are the ones who are kind of, it's all set and it's all perfect for this new world that we're creating. So don't stress out about it. And but he was saying about the gold and the other countries, and they all want it too. So he was making it like, okay, we're all going to be free, and we're all going to have gold, we're all going to be equal, and nobody's going to be over anybody. We're not going to be, no country's going to be taking advantage of another country. It's all changing. And so that's what I'm saying. When all this stuff starts going, just keep remembering that everything's changing for the better. This stuff is the things that have to play out because this is what creates the change that we're looking for in the majority of people. Is it's going to affect a lot of people. Whatever's going to go down, and I don't know what's going on yet today. There's no service, like horrible service out here. I can't even get a TikTok to download. So I'll try and download this, but later I'm going to go to town and go to float the river with my daughter. And when I get into town, I'll download this and it will download real quick. But yeah, out here, last time I was here, I had one that was trying to download all day and it wouldn't go at all. So it's like the Surface does not have that ability. Anyways, so what I hear is everything is just going just as it should be and trying to really get people's attention. He's got his Band-Aid still on his ear and talking about, how lucky he is to be alive. But that's to kind of get people to start thinking in those directions, like, and coming together. And there is people who are outraged by the things that other people are saying about he should have died. And see, that's where we set a standard. That's where as people wake up and they're outraged, that makes the people who are saying it feel more embarrassed and shamed, like God, and people pointing out, like, what in the evil are you? Like, what kind of person does that or says something like that? You don't even know this guy in person. I mean, what has he ever done to you personally? You want him dead? Like, so it's that deep moral issues that's coming up to get people to really self-evaluate. And that is also a part of the change, how things change. So anyways, it all sounds like, I was really glad I heard that part. So it's like, oh, cool. He's like just coming right out and saying it if you understand how he, his code, what he's saying. Because he can't just say some of the stuff just because people, won't believe it. It's like he said from the very beginning, you can't tell the people, you have to show them. That is something he has said so many times. You can't tell them, you have to show them. And that's what we're going through. And my mom said that on the news every day now. They're saying, Joe's not Joe. All these newscasters, she said there was one where a guy was saying, that's not Joe. I've known him for years. And that's not him. And the news person started saying, well, I don't know, you think? And then the other person started shaming. I'm like, oh, come on. So there's going to be more and more of that, because there's more and more people saying, that's not Joe, that's a guy in a mask, that's not the real guy. And so again, I don't know how they're going to play this out, because now they've got him sick. So they're going to, finally exit stage left him. Or are they going to expose the truth, like a Scooby-Doo moment? Like, who knows? I'm looking out. I'm not looking at the phone. Sorry, I'll go crooked. But anyways, so just don't get down or get stressed by all the things going on. Keep focused on that timeline, the positive timeline, not the one over here, not the negative where everything goes wrong and sucks. Focus on the positive one where everything turns out right, because that's the one you want to go towards. And those are the challenges when things don't make sense and everything in the physical is telling you something else. You keep going towards the one your soul is telling you. You keep going towards the one that, if people think it's a fantasy or whatever, you tell people, no, we're going on the gold standard. We're all going to have freedom. We're all going to have houses. We're all going to have money. We're all going to travel. Travel's going to change. It's not going to be this long distance driving. We're going to be able to just access portals and shit. So everything's going to be changing. But you start saying that to people and they're like, oh, okay. Yeah, and some lie. I hope I'm still alive then. It's like, oh, well, better be prepared because shit's about to go. So, again, I feel like it's super close, but something is super close. I think, there's enough people who are saying it. Like I'm hearing like news people say it. Something big's about to happen. So, and who knows? Is it something with, somebody like Joe going, or is it something like Missouri collapsing in an earthquake, or LA falling into the ocean, or whatever? I mean, we just don't know until it happens. And we just got to know what's happening is everything is changing. The world, the earth plane is rolling over. Get comfortable for this new age of existence that we are creating. And it's going to be a good one. So remember, as you're working through all of this, this is all about you learning how to love yourself, love everyone, and how to have a loving day because it is up to you. So I will talk to you later.